You have a wonderful presentation. They relax with you. They like you. They trust you. And she really wants to go ahead. But she won't say anything, but she may make noises. You might hear all of a sudden just have her go, Now I want you to go, buying noise. I'm going to get ready to go further in my presentation, all right? Now the next thing I want you to watch for are what we call the visual buying signs. Now here are things people do visually when they want to spend or invest money. First thing I want you to watch is their overall demeanor and watch them to warm up to you. See, I call it warming up to you. Yeah, what's it all about? What are you talking about here? See, they're not warm yet. You ask a few of the questions I've taught you. You talk about what you're here for, which is basically increasing their profitability through offering wonderful services that attract more clientele. And all of a sudden, they're warming up to you. Yeah, you know what? Okay, just a second. All right, take care of everything, and come on in here. That's warming up. That's a buying sign visually. Watch their face, even when they smile, and you will develop a little humor. Humor is important in a presentation. And so you've got some certain little things you say, and they give you a nice smile. It's a buying sign. If you're ever at a table and you show visuals, your presentation binder, and they lean forward and intently read, that's a buying sign. You should also watch for them to do a couple things that are verbal but also visual. They see a page in your presentation binder and they want you to go over something on it again. Now wait a second. Let me hear that again. If ever a person asks you to repeat something in your presentation, we label that as a what? Buying sign. All right? So, and there's one other that I don't want you to forget. There's a certain type of question that I almost consider a question that's saying, I am going ahead before you leave. And that question is called a technical question. Now, what is a technical question? Here's the definition. Any question they would not need to know the answer to unless they'd made the final decision to go ahead. This could be something like, explain all the different rates. Or it could even be, how soon will I get my money? What are the risks in taking a bad check? See, these are technical. You know, this is like, you don't need to know that unless you're one of my clients. And so right away the pro goes, hot dog, technical question, buying sign. You see? So that's when to close. Now let's talk about how to close the sale. Never forget this next sentence. As long as you're breathing, you must develop a dynamic presentation using what we've covered in the last presentation. You see, the last presentation I went through, if you've done all of that right, you're now going to be good at closing. Now, what does that mean? Well, there's some things you've got to commit to, gang. You first of all have to commit to avoiding the nasty words. I really mean that. You aren't even aware of it, but when you say buy instead of own, sell instead of get them involved, deal instead of opportunity, contract instead of paperwork or agreement, those fear-producing words will lower your closing ratio. In fact, here's something I want you never to forget. Try to say everything you say the way the merchant wants to hear it. Now that is one of your goals, to say everything you say in a way the merchant wants to hear it. The next thing you must do is you must master the use of your visual aids. Now a visual aid would include your presentation binder, brochures, all of your paperwork. And please do me one favor, you that are brand new, sit down alone and fill out your application, fill out your information sheets, fill out everything a bunch of times just so you get real relaxed with it. Because whenever a printed form comes out, the person across the counter becomes like you. Meaning, if you're nervous, they'll get nervous. If you are afraid of it, they'll become afraid of it. See, you can't suddenly look down at a printed form and go, you know, I'm not sure what goes here. You can't do that. Their confidence comes because you've done this so many times. Gosh, it's such a shame brand new people are more afraid of their own forms sometimes than the client. That's why we call this our best friend. Remember, our friend? This must be like a best friend.